one more November Queens Hoops game in Charlotte, North Carolina. The Royals are looking to stay undefeated at Curry Arena, while Wesleyan College is hungry for a second straight win. Hello and welcome inside Curry Arena. Thank you so much for joining us here on ESPN Plus alongside my analyst, who is the head coach at Providence Day High School, Josh Springer. I'm Anna Whitty. This Queens team is coming off a tough loss against UNC Asheville, only scoring 14 points in the first half. How can the Royals get off to a faster start here today?
Yeah, great to be with you, Anna. Beautiful Sunday afternoon, and I think through any coach's eyes, every coach wants a fast start, and I think that starts on the defensive end. Coach Brown and some pressure defense, they're going to want to turn those into easy transition baskets, which is the calling card for Queens.
Wesleyan College starting lineup here today, starting with Baraji, Greider, Simmons, Tejada, and Berger, led by their head coach, Lauren Fallon-Lone, who's in her first year as their head coach. She spent 8 years coaching college hoops at every single level, but her biggest thing here for the Wolves is to compete. For Queens University, their starting lineup starts with Brisker, Johnson, Gwynn, Davis, and Balde, led by their head coach, Jen Brown, who's in her fourth season with the Royals. Spent the last 12 years at Virginia Tech as their assistant. And for more on today's matchup, we're going to throw it over to the third member of our team, Kat Biancardi. Kat?
The Royals are here at home and looking to get back in the win column and have a 50-50 record. They're right now trying to make sure they stay perfect at home, 3-0, and really rebound from the loss against UNC Asheville.
Thank you, Kat. Keys to the game are brought to you by Kramer Realty. Josh, what do you see for this Queens side? Rather, what do you need to see today?
Yeah, well, a year ago, Queens really struggled from beyond the arc, and that's been totally different in 23-24. They're shooting 41% from the arc, led by Nikki Gwynn, who's been instant offense for them to the roster this year. And I think they've got to continue shooting it well from the arc, because in talking to Coach Brown this week, she said that opens up all the driving lanes for them.
On the other side of the floor, Wesleyan College looking to get their second win of the season. What do they need to do?
Well, first off, enjoy the moment. Are you kidding me? It's a Division III school getting to play in a D1 arena. These moments don't happen every day for the young ladies of the Wolves. They want to not let one play negatively turn into 3-5 and stay out of the big 15-0 run by Queens. But most importantly, enjoy the run and just compete.
One of the players for Queens Royals that has been really exciting to watch this season is Nicole Gwynn. She's averaging just over 18 points per game. What have you liked about her game this season?
Yeah, she's filling it up from beyond the arc, and like I mentioned earlier, when she shoots it that well from beyond the arc, that opens driving lanes for Brisker, the team's leading scorer from a year ago, for Johnson, for everybody else, because you can't help so much on those driving lanes when you have somebody who's a deadly three-point shooter like Gwynn beyond the arc.
Gwynn averaging 18 points per game. Today's game will be led by our head official, Danielle Jackson. Minutes away from tip-off here at Curry Arena. The middle court tip-off is number 15. Hawa Baldi wins the initial tip. Wolves are led at the point by Baraji. Goes up for the easy layup for the first 2 points. Gwynn driving the lane, stays with it, pushes the ball out wide to Brisker. Brisker kicks it out wide. Gwynn misses the three. That'll go back into the possession of the Wolves.
Great start for the visitors. You couldn't ask much more. Get a stop on the first trip down the court and a bucket. Let's see if they can capitalize here.
Wolves with the early lead here today. Biggest player on the floor for the Wolves is Otasia Baraji. She is a transfer from Delta State, and Coach Fallon said that this was a player that had reached out to her, who wanted to come, and she brought her in this year, had 13 assists last year, and is shooting 39% from the field. A versatile player in this Wolves offense. Baraji inside, passes it out wide to Tejada for two.
Beautiful job of Baraji getting in the paint, through the help from the post player. Easy finish for the visitors.
Tejada, one of the freshmen on the floor. It's her second point from the field this season. Gwynn, long three, hits it.
Anna, my notes today said Steph Curry range for Gwynn, and she just showed it right there from the logo.
Nicole Gwynn, shooting 42% from the field this season, has been the biggest piece of why Queens has been able to stay in these games and really compete from the three-point line. Nicole Gwynn, in her first year with the Royals, comes over from South Carolina State. Spent 2 seasons there where she was averaging 10 points a game. Substitution made for the Wolves. Baraji. Baraji looking for an open player. Kicks it out wide to Walker. Walker inside. Back out wide to Berger. Baraji from distance. Misses. Ball inside. Turn. Balde misses it, and it's followed up by Johnson. Johnson misses it again. Mia Walker, the second transfer for the Wolves this season, comes over from College of Wooster in Ohio. Coach Fallon used to coach Walker in just strength training. They've had a relationship, so as soon as Walker found that Fallon was coming to Wesleyan College, she reached out right away. Turnover right into Balde's hands. Johnson. Johnson out wide to Gwynn. Ball inside, it's Weaver for a layup.
Davis there did a great job inside, finishing. Local product from Providence High School. I've loved her game as an undersized four-man.
Amari Davis, former player of Providence High School, where you've coached her before, Josh. What has made her such a big threat within this offense?
Actually, Anna, she's at Providence High School. I'm at Providence State
sorry.
School, but
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
okay. I have been able to watch her up close and personal a lot through the years. She's just a hard-nosed competitor. She's undersized, but she can play guard or post spot. And Howard Balde does an incredible job running rim to rim right there to complete the transition bucket.
Balde, the big center for Queens here today. Without Westmoreland, Balde has had to do a lot more on both sides of the floor for this Queens offense.
Howard Balde is doing an outstanding job of continuing her development. A year ago, she was second in the league in block shots there and finished on transition.
Queens leading Wesleyan 7-4. More women's college hoops right after this break.
This is how it feels to live purposefully, to live gracefully. When you have a health partner who doesn't just treat part of you, they care for all of you. That's why more people prefer Atrium Health, because unrivaled care is easier, more accessible, and more complete than ever before. Because the only way to be your best self is with your best health. That's what it means to live meaningfully, to live joyfully, to live fully.
From the bluegrass of Kentucky, the Arkansas River, to the beautiful beaches of Florida. From the bustling streets of Nashville to the soulful sounds of Muscle Shoals and its vibrant cities. Fueled by growth, the Atlantic Sun operates in the fastest growing region in America and broadcasts in over 16 million homes. We're everywhere you want to be, with access to 9 of the nation's top 80 media markets, including an impressive 6 in the top 50. Our 12-member institutions provide every collegiate experience from public to private to faith-based. All of our member institutions are located in the top 30 states with the most rapid growth. So join us, because we're not just a stop along the journey. The Atlantic Sun is the destination.
Before a city turns to you for answers, before the stories that need telling are told, and our nation's biggest companies look to you to make their next big move. Whenever, however, you're called upon to step up, Queens will prepare you to do just that. Because here, Royals rise.
Welcome back inside Curry Arena. The last transition bracket for ball day was huge.
Brisker did an outstanding job pushing the ball up the sideline, and every coach tells their big, run to the rim. Rim run, rim run, rim run. How a ball day did that doesn't get any easier than the lay-in.
Ball day with her first points of the afternoon for Queens. The Royals are leading the Wolves 7-4 here early in the first quarter as to travel as that ball gets played out wide to Walker.
I like the action Wesleyan was running there. A 1-4 high set to get one of their most athletic wing players over the top on a zipper cut or an Iverson cut there, trying to clear out. Unfortunately, she took one too many. Queens ball.
Queens with a brand new set of 5 players on the court right now. As Shaw brings the ball out, finds OEC. Adams inside, finds Weaver for an easy 2 points.
Weaver is really physical. Outstanding rebounder, almost 7 a game from a year ago, and didn't make it harder than it needed to be. Just steal right at the rim, drop step, and score it.
Weaver, a sophomore from San Antonio, Texas, has been a great add. And one thing that Coach Brown added about Weaver is that she has been able to be a little bit slower into a progression, but reads the game really well. Had a double-double against Johnson and Wales. And it's just trying to find how comfortable she can be, not only at the college level, but in the system that Brown has created.
Yeah, and one of the things you notice right away, Coach Brown's gone deep into her bench, and I know when we talked to her earlier this week, she said, we've got 15 players now that are all playing. That makes practices highly competitive, and you can see that depth will probably wear on the visitors as the game goes on. They only have 7 dressed today.
Big storyline for Wesleyan College. They have one player out with an injury, and they have a player out as well who just last minute added to the roster. So Wesleyan College traveled with just 7 players here to Charlotte, North Carolina. Coach Fallon said that she still expects her team to play hard and play at fast intensity despite how much depth they have on the bench. Ball to Walker. It's going to be a foul against OEC. OEC was the biggest reason that this Queens side was able to come back against UNC Asheville. Had 50% from the field, shot 60% from the three-point line. Adds to that depth of Coach Brown's roster. Ball played inside to Walker. Walker brings it out wide. Walker inside, looks for the shot, passes over the top. It's going to be another foul inside, again against OEC.
I'll be curious to see if the referees call that a pass or a shot. There's some confusion there. It looked like she was trying to skip the ball, but now I think they're going to give her 2 at the free throw line right here.
Definitely looked like a pass for Walker over the top to Rahashim, but Walker will go to the line for her first free throw of the game.
Coach Brown probably not overly thrilled about giving 2 points away here at the line because they had outstanding help defense outside the lane, making Walker give it up.
Mia Walker, a sophomore guard from Decula, Georgia, transferred over from College of Wooster. One of those big, versatile, athletic players, especially in this first season for Coach Fallon. Shaw passes it off to Brown. Brown inside to Weaver. Weaver tries to turn. A turnover. Quick out transition is Baraji. Baraji to the lane. Misses the shot. Rebounded by Adams. quick in transition. Adams kicks it out wide. 3-point shot made by Fuller.
I love the unselfishness of Adams there. She led the break, got a paint touch, gave Fuller an open three.
Walker to the other end, misses the three. Right there for the rebound is Barnwell. Barnwell out wide to Rashim. Weaver there to collect it. Quick transition play on both ends of the floor. This one brought up again. Finding Fuller. Fuller inside. Weaver for an easy two. Lots of transition opportunities for this Queens side. They're finding their opportunities to go out quickly.
Coaches often have a saying, Anna, everybody eats. And what that means is share the basketball. In a game like this, it can be tempting to try to get yours and take an okay shot. I've been impressed with Queens turning good shots into great shots thus far.
Queens leading this one 15-6 with just under 4 minutes to go here in the first quarter. The Royals are shooting 64% from the field this early, something that they've continued to work on, averaging 63 points a game coming into this matchup. Easy layup, 2 points for Shaw, and she'll go to the line.
That's just Division I athleticism against Division III athleticism, quite frankly. She was too quick for the defender, got it step by, and now it's a chance for a three-point play as Queens making another hockey line change.
Wesleyan College off to a good start initially in the first quarter, but now they've allowed Queens to come in. What defensively do they have to do to slow down the scoring opportunities of the Royals?
Well, you just hit the nail on the head trying to slow them down. My coaching eyes would say the second we shoot the ball, we're turning and getting back. We're getting 5 players back. Queens might score on us in the half court, but we're not going to watch them shoot layups on the break all day.
This Wolves side only playing with 7 players, as that was missed by Shaw, and right there to put it back up is Brisker. Adia Brisker, a senior guard, transferred from Morgan State University a few years ago, and that was Amari Davis with the shot and the 2 points. This on the other end of the floor. Faraji misses, goes off the leg of a Wolf. Should be a Royals ball. Another substitution made. Shaw comes off the floor. Davis plays it inbounds to Johnson. Johnson drives the lane, kicks it out wide. Johnson finds Brisker for 2.
Brisker was the leading scorer for this Royals group a year ago. Nice to see her getting that touch floater in the lane.
Brisker with her first points of the afternoon. Headed into this one, if Brisker scores 20 points this afternoon, she will have 1,000 career points. Most points scored by any Royal underneath Coach Jen Brown. Ball out wide to Johnson, and it is out of her hands, back into the hands of the Wolves. Walker from range. Rebounded by Davis. Davis out in transition. Passes it back to Gwynn. Gwynn inside. Goes all by herself. Gets fouled and doesn't get the 2 points, but will go to the line.
Hannah, right there is a sign of a really good player. And here's what I mean by that. The scouting report for Wesleyan says don't let Gwynn get it off from the arc. Steph Curry range. So they ran 2 defenders out her. To Gwynn's credit, she put it in her left hand and still got to the rim. Great versatility for a wing player.
Nicole Gwynn, junior guard from Hartford, Connecticut, shooting 38% from the floor, 42% from the three-point line. Misses her initial free throw. We'll get another opportunity. This Royal side has subbed and played with multiple players here today. Balde, therefore, another layup, rebounds it and misses it as Queens gets the ball again.
Well, Balde's 6'4". There's zero reason to dribble the ball when Wesleyan has no player even close to that high. Great job getting the rebound, but she should have just turned and finished without the dribble.
Balde easily the tallest player on the floor as Davis makes that 2-point shot.
Yeah, that's 6 points for Davis. Again, undersized, but I just love her toughness inside. She just finds a way to finish through traffic.
Walker driving inside for the layup, gets fouled, doesn't get the 2 points. Great work ethic from Mia Walker. Shooting 29% from the floor this season, but there's been a lot asked for these Wesleyan College players because they don't have the depth on the bench.
Yeah, Walker's got to stop the bleeding here. Wesleyan got ahead to a 4-0 lead, and since then, Queens is on a 23-2 run.
Mia Walker, the sophomore from Decula, Georgia, gets her first free throw attempt of the afternoon. Walker misses and goes into the hands of Brisker. Brisker down inside looking for Davis. Doesn't get there, but it is deflected off the hands of Wolves, and the Royals will regain possession again.
That pass never had a chance. Queens is fortunate to get the ball back right here underneath.
You mentioned how tall Balde is and the lack of height that the Wolves team possess, so keeping the ball on the ground as well against Wolves could help in their favor. This one shot and made by Johnson.
That's Johnson's go-to shot. She lives in the mid-range. Loves to go off ball screens, loves the pull-up jumper there. Howie Balde getting an assist where it's usually the other way around. The point guard handing off to Howie Balde for a bucket.
Royals can do it all within their offense. This ball back into the hands of Barnwell. Barnwell finds Berger. Berger goes up, misses. Davis rebounds. Davis out in transition. Johnson has all the time from the free throw line, misses. Barnwell rebounds, and it'll come back down the other end of the floor for Wolves. No slowing down for this Wolves side. Goes back into the hands of Mia Walker, who's running the point this afternoon. Walker over the top to Rashem. Rashem, a long three, misses. Balde rebounds. Johnson, the point guard for the Royals this season. She's a senior from Little Rock, Arkansas. Was ranked second in the ASUN for free throw shooting. Voted MVP at her former school, Southern Arkansas University Tech. A versatile player in Coach Brown's offense. Out to Brisker. She misses, and the Wolves will come back down the other end of the floor. Shot from long range, 2 seconds to go on the play clock, and Davis will bring that one down. The Royals lead this Wesleyan College side 25-7 at the end of the first quarter. We'll be back for more action here at Curry Arena right after this break. Welcome back inside Curry Arena for second quarter action between the Wolves and the Royals. The Wolves losing to the Royals 7-25 in the first quarter. For more on those two breaks, we'll stay here for action and go to Kat in just a second. Ball played out to Walker. Walker for two. That one's pulled down. Quickly out in transition is Shaw. Shaw going for two and will be fouled. For more on the first quarter, Kat Biancardi heard from both coaches. Kat?
Thank you, Anna. Inside Wesleyan's college huddle, Coach said specifically, hey, this isn't even about playing with the X's and O's, but rather we got to play with some passion and hustling. I've seen you guys run. Let me see you guys really hustle and actually show that you want to be here because you're supposed to be here. You're playing basketball. And on the other end, with the Royals, Coach Jim Brown emphasized that the first 5 minutes of every single game has to be better. It has to have more energy to be able to have a higher lead. Anna?
Thank you, Kat. Coach Brown makes such a good point on the fast start. Right away, Wesleyan College went up 4-0. That was something they struggled with against UNC Asheville. How do they go into this second quarter and have that energy and that spark right away?
Well, Coach Brown's coaching for the big picture. She knows that obviously they're the superior team today. Obviously they should win the game by a large amount.
Right.
But this program is building, and her mantra this year, elevate, is to elevate in all facets. And in order to have a fast start for A-Sun play, they need to consistently build habits of doing that against Asheville, against Wesleyan College, whoever's on their schedule.
Wesleyan College comes into Charlotte, North Carolina, 1-2 record. Lost to Grinnell, lost to Pensacola Christian, and then they get their first win against Johnson last Saturday. So a team that's looking to continue to improve. And one thing that Coach Fallon said was that this is, quote-unquote, their first year of basketball. She's really trying to change this team and this program holistically.
I know it could be frustrating and exciting anytime you take over a new program. I know 25 years ago, my dad and I took over a junior college team in Wisconsin. We had no players, no basketballs, no uniforms when we got the job.
No basketball?
Nothing. And so we took our lumps. We lost our first game ever by 67 points, but 3 years later, my dad's team was contending for the state championship there. And so I know Coach Fallon's doing the same thing here. How exciting is it to, hey, we're in the infancy stages of the program, but you get to tell your young ladies, we're going to play a Division I team. What a great experience for a Division III program like Wesleyan.
Didn't even have a court. That's impressive, as that's an easy layup for Weaver in the point. No court, no basketball, no jerseys. They turned that around for a state championship. That is an inspirational story if I've ever heard one. Brenage bring this one up. Ball played out wide to Greider. Brenage taking her time. Back inside to Greider. Greider drives the paint. Gets dispossessed for a second. Keeps it alive to Barnwell. Brenage with 5 seconds on the shot clock. Last second shot attempt. Brenage won't make it, and it'll go straight into the hands of Adams. Adams into Shaw. Shaw misses. Weaver's there to collect it again. Misses again. Tejada brings it down. Brenage driving the paint. Charge will be called against for Adams, and Brenage still down on the floor after that charge.
Coach's dream right there. If you're Jen Brown, you love to see early help defense, and you love to see selfless plays right here. She was absolutely perfectly set. All right, took the hit right there. Legal guarding position in front of the driving offensive player. A charge can be such an energy-boosting play for your team. Let's see what Queens does with it.
Brenage comes off the floor. Substitution will be made for the point guard, and it will be Rahashim to come on the floor. You saw the energy, too, that charge gave the entire team, the excitement that it showed. Adams, a player who didn't start here today, a substitution off the bench, certainly bringing that spark. Ball inside. Greider goes down the floor. Greider, 2v2. Rahashim throws it up, misses, and Shaw comes down with it. Shaw to Adams in transition. Adams makes the two-pointer.
Adams had great feet right there. Great patience. She did a jump stop. She showed the ball, got the defender in the air, and finished. Something Queens hadn't done the last 3 trips down the court.
Queens really looking to take care of the details when it comes to shooting. 3 different trips down the floor. We're in the right position, just wasn't able to convert points. Walker for 2, misses. Adams, back out again. Adams, 1v3, goes up for her on her own, gets fouled, and won't make the 2 additional points. That's another trip down the floor for this Queens side that wasn't able to convert the easy layups. How important at this point in the game is it to really focus on that detail?
Yeah, Adams was fortunate to get fouled there. I didn't love the decision driving 1-on-3 in transition. She was fortunate to get fouled. We see another hockey line change by Coach Brown here, going deep into that bench. And let me take a moment here, Anna, to say, how about those home uniforms? Coach Brown told us this week, going with the gray uniforms, the lime green, and for the first time in Queens women's basketball history, the name on the backs of the jerseys. And that's important to a lot of kids these days. That's important to recruits. And so when you can sell the flashy uniforms, you get to put your name on the back of the jersey. Just always remember, the name on the front of the jersey is the most important one.
Coach mentioned that the excitement from the players was really fun to see, as there'll be another foul, this time in favor of Wesleyan College. This gray uniform is the first time that the Royals have been able to wear it. It looks a little bit like a Seahawks jersey, and I like it. The lime green really stands out on these players. But you mentioned the recruiting. This is the 2nd year for the Royals at the Division I level. So every extra ounce of excitement you can give a team really does help on the recruiting trail.
Well, and the entire campus here is full of electricity and buzz. Queens went through a full rebranding this summer. New logo on the center court, you can see. New logos on the uniforms. Again, in year 2 as a Division I program, not just in women's basketball, across all sports, this place is booming.
As Grider looks for the long-range 2-point, doesn't make it. This will go back down the end of the floor. Johnson, quick out wide to Gwynn, misses the 3.
Even though Gwynn missed, I like that decision by Brisker. Brisker's a capable 3-point shooter. Gwynn's a knockdown 3-point shooter. Sometimes you make the right basketball play and you just don't get the right result.
Inside, Rasheen hits the side of the basket. The Royals are slowing it down just a little bit as Johnson goes by herself past Grider for an easy 2.
Beautiful Euro step by Johnson. They're avoiding the post player defender. Excellent body control and a finish.
Johnson doing so much in this Queens offense this season as a senior. Walker, Gwynn right there. Rather, that's Brisker. Brisker to Gwynn. Gwynn for 2, makes it and gets fouled.
Wesleyan needs a timeout here. You can see tongues hanging on the ground for the Wolves. Again, the hockey line changes that Coach Brown is employing. There are fresh horses coming out every minute on the court there, and they are just running Wesleyan out of the gym right now.
Wesleyan College with only 2 substitutions off the bench in this game. Coach Brown making a very interesting decision to do that lane change. Normally we don't see Coach Brown throwing so many different substitutions this early on in a game, but when you're playing against a team where there's not as much depth, why not also give some of your depth experience? As this is Baraji bringing the ball back up the floor. Baraji inside to Grider. Grider back out to Baraji. Berger trying to flash inside. Baraji goes all by herself. Balde hits it out of her hands. Davis, stutter step inside to Balde. Balde, layup for 2. That bounce again, you see it, Josh. You mentioned it. Might as well turn and shoot it. Don't even need to bounce it.
I love that Davis rewarded Hawa Balde. She started the play with a block on one end of the floor, and way to reward the post player on the other end, even though, yes, she got on my nerve for taking that habit dribble. We'll get rid of that.
I saw it right away, and I thought of you. As Grider looks to pass it to Berger. Back into the hands of Walker. Walker, 1v1 against Johnson. 2 seconds left on the shot clock. Gets it off. actually doesn't get it off. And we will be back for more women's college basketball on the other side of this break. The Royals 38, the Wolves 7.
Oh, man. There's nothing I love more than a good trail mix. But a mountain bike trail, not so much. Oh, hey. My pedal. Wonder where the other one is.
From urgent care to your full recovery, Ortho Carolina is there every step of the way.
Good day, though. Good day.
From the bluegrass of Kentucky, the Arkansas River, the beautiful beaches of Florida. From the bustling streets of Nashville to the soulful sounds of Muscle Shoals and its vibrant cities. Fueled by growth, the Atlantic Sun operates in the fastest growing region in America and broadcasts in over 16 million homes. We're everywhere you want to be, with access to 9 of the nation's top 80 media markets, including an impressive 6 in the top 50. Our 12-member institutions provide every collegiate experience from public to private to faith-based. All of our member institutions are located in the top 30 states with the most rapid growth. So join us, because we're not just a stop along the journey. The Atlantic Sun is the destination.
Here, strength comes from within.
Practice makes perfect.
And curiosity knows no bounds.
I believe Queens graduates will create a better tomorrow. Where we go next? That's up to us.
Just under 4.5 to go here at Curry Arena in the first half. Nicole Gwynn, a big piece from the three-point line, headed into today's game shooting 42% from the three-point line, has made one here today. Coach Brown spoke about Gwynn being the biggest gym rat she has ever seen, and that's really what has contributed to her success here for the Royals, her first season here.
Well, when you come in and you play the defending national champs, LSU, and Nikki Gwynn poured 26 on them,
right.
Coach Brown talked about that giving her an insane amount of confidence going into the rest of the season. And you hit the nail on the head. You don't become a great three-point shooter by wishing it to happen. It's thousands of hours in the gym when nobody's looking at them.
Gwynn was a player that was brought into the Royals by Brown knowing that she could take those types of shots and knew that she had that confidence and the work ethic to continue to grow. As this is Gwynn driving it inside, looking for 2 points, and she makes it.
Anna, this team needed that. They struggled desperately from the three-point line a year ago. So I can bet in those recruiting meetings with Coach Taylor and Coach Johnson and Coach Brown over the last several months, priority number one was we need to get a maker, not a taker, from beyond the arc, and Nikki Gwynn has been just that.
Nicole Gwynn, 1 of 4 from the three-point line in this game as it's bounced out wide. Wolves missed that shot. Briagi there to recollect the rebound. Out to Greider, doesn't make it. Intercepted by Johnson. Johnson up to McCray, makes the two-pointer.
And how about Michaela Carney? Folks, look at her jersey number carefully, number 6. This is the first year college basketball is allowing players to wear jersey numbers above 5. Why, you ask? The reason used to be referees only have 5 fingers on each hand, and it made it very difficult to signal the foul on 21, 31, so on and so forth. Now, obviously, they've loosened the rules a little bit on that. You see 6, you see number 38, 55, whatever it may be, similar to what you've been seeing on the pro level for years.
Not only is Kearney wearing a new number, but also these new jerseys for the Royals. As Kearney from the three-point line misses, and it's rebounded by Barnwell.
Kearney wants us to keep talking about her, so she's letting it fly.
Greider goes inside, but not before she travels. Kayla Kearney, a junior guard, transferred over from Colby, originally from Williamstown, New Jersey. Hasn't seen the floor much this season for the Royals, but has been used as a sub, really proving what she can do off the bench.
Well, and Coach Brown's able to use this game for just that. The scoreboard's extremely out of hand. Wesleyan has not scored at all in the second quarter. It's 42-7, and so you saw Coach Brown just recently go to his own defense. This is a game to play all 15-year players, to try multiple offenses, multiple defenses, and obviously build some confidence going into next week.
Michaela Kearney, a player who not only in practice it's difficult to show game-like experience, but in games it's so important to show your coach that you can play at this level in a game. As Gwynn makes her first free-throw attempt.
Well, and Anna, to your point, today everybody's going to play. Everybody's going to feel good. Everybody's going to have a great brunch, a great dinner with mom, grandma, whoever after the game. But the next game, the bench rotation's tightened. Coach isn't going to play 15 players every game. That's just the reality of it. And so what are these players doing in their 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 7 minutes to earn minutes the next day out? That's what this is about.
Definitely, especially for this Royal side. They will play against South Carolina State on Wednesday. As this one will go straight into the hands of Weaver, right down the other end of the floor. Adams makes the save, misses the layup. Weaver there for the second rebound, gets fouled and makes it. Jordan Weaver, sophomore forward from San Antonio, Texas, is shooting 59% from the field and so good under the hoop.
You know why she's shooting 59% from the field? Because almost all of her shots come from within 8 feet. Now, she padded her stats right there by missing the first layup and getting the second one, but I love how relentless she is attacking the glass. Players can shoot it too much, Anna. They can pass it too much, dribble it too much. You can never, ever rebound the ball too much. That's why Weaver found herself on the court an awful lot.
Weaver averaging just under 7 rebounds a game for the Royals. That's one of the biggest keys for her this season, and has averaged a double-double this year as Bernage passes it out wide to Rahashem. Rahashem looking to go inside. It's fouled. Looks like it might have been Shaw, but no, it was a foul against Fuller. Trinity Fuller, the Woodbridge, Virginia product. This will allow, rather, it will not go to the line. Instead, it'll just be an inbound pass. Walker, just underneath the hoop. That one will come down to Adams. Just over a minute left to go in the first half. Shaw out wide to Fuller. Fuller inside Adams. Adams turns Berger and makes the shot. Burridge out to Walker. Walker surveying the floor, doesn't see anyone, looks to beat Shaw all by herself. It's blocked by Weaver, and Weaver will come back down. Fuller under the hoop, easy layup, so gentle, just a bunny shot to make that two-point shot.
Beautiful lead pass right there. Let's see if Wesleyan can get on the board here, Anna. They have not scored a point in the second quarter. Last opportunity right here.
No points for Wolves here in the second quarter, and it'll be Baraji just killing time at the point. Just under 10 seconds to go here in the second quarter. Baraji looking for the shot. Greider inside, last second opportunity, and misses. No points for Wolves in the second quarter. The Queens Royals put up 26 points, one more than they did in the first quarter. A lot of first half action for the Royals, especially on offense.
Yeah, if I'm Jen Brown, this is what I expected. But I'm really pleased that the defense has turned into offense. And in the pregame, Anna, you and I talked about pressure defense, forcing turnovers into transition baskets. And I don't know, I don't have it in front of me right now, but safe to say, Queens has about 25 transition points. And anytime you can shut a team out for a full quarter, I don't care what level of basketball it is, that's highly impressive.
Queens has been playing against a Wesleyan College team who doesn't have the depth on the bench, so the transition basketball has worked well in their favor. Royals up 51-7 at halftime. We'll be back with stats and highlights here on ESPN+. Stay with us.
Before a city turns to you for answers, before the stories that need telling are told, and our nation's biggest companies look to you to make their next big move. Whenever, however, you're called upon to step up, Queens will prepare you to do just that. Because here, Royals rise.
Welcome back inside Curry Arena. It is halftime between the Royals and the Wolves as the Royals are winning 51-7. No points for the Wolves in the second quarter action. As for the Royals, they're shooting 61% from the floor, 20% from the free throw line. Jordan Weaver is pushing for a double-double with 11 points here in the first half. We'll have plenty more action here to come on ESPN+. Make sure to stay with us here in Charlotte, North Carolina. Welcome back inside Curry Arena, where the Royals are leading the Wolves 51-7 here at halftime. Our own Kat Biancardi sat down with the men's basketball team, Bryce Cash, to talk about his time playing for the Royals.
We're a bunch of dogs, and we like to fight. We like the big matchups. We're not scared of nobody.
Tis the hoop season, Royals fans. Welcome into 117 Studio B. I'm Kat Biancardi alongside freshman Cash, Bryce Cash, the man. Dude, the season is underway. What value are you looking to make on the court?
I'm looking to do the little things, everything that Coach G wants me to do. Just score the ball, play defense, get my teammates involved. Anything that helps the team win, I'm willing to do.
And what are some of the team's goals this season?
Team goal is definitely to win an ASUN Conference Championship. Definitely to win over 20 games is one of our goals. And I feel like individually, a goal of mine is just to establish myself as a top freshman in the league. So those are some of the goals, yeah. And
prior to the season starting, Coach Leonard posted the preseason rankings in the locker room. I know you guys go by and see that. Queens not at the very bottom, but near the bottom. How does that motivate you?
Yeah, definitely motivation, because you see that every time you leave the locker room. So every time I leave the locker room, I look at that. I'm like, all right, it's time to go prove. It's time to go to practice. It's time to go prove why we should be in the top rankings. And it's okay if they don't rank us that, because we're gonna prove it in by March.
Awesome. And as a Charlotte native, you get the opportunity to play in your hometown in front of your family. What does that mean to you? It
means everything. That's one of the reasons why I chose Queens, because it's close to home, and I feel like having my family there, y'all gonna see a lot of Cash in the stands, so it's gonna be fun to watch.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your time, Bryce.
Thank you.
Bryce Cash, in his first year with the Royals, has started all 7 games, averaging just over 8 points a game this season. The men's basketball team will be taking on Gardner-Webb at home on Wednesdays at 7 Eastern Time. Tip on ESPN+. Then they'll play against Carolina Christian. They have Winthrop, Carolina University, and then App State on December 13th at home. Don't worry, if you can't make the game here at Curry Arena, you can always tune into our broadcast on ESPN+. For more women's college basketball hoops on the other end of this break, the Royals beating the Wolves 51-7.
Points off turnovers here.